Okay, heal our land, Kari Job.
You take our lives, flawed yet beautiful.
Guess what I'm going to talk about?
Restore, refine, Lord, you're merciful.
This is the most truthful one right there. It's called The Future is Female, Male Tears. Man, I'm trying. Look at this picture. I think Fibonojji is awesome. The future is female and anti-male. Public restroom in Malibu, PCH. Remember these days? You gotta heal our land, dude. Remember those days? It's back. You know, being a man's rights activist is kind of a lonely experience. I took this picture. This was, you can just go to my Fibonacci. It says, the future is female and anti-male. So this is a public restroom in Malibu, California. You know, it's so interesting. We live in some times that I never thought I would see this. This is a public restroom where they just are not allowing men to use a restroom, and they literally put a X on it, and then they even thought that wasn't enough. I guess some guys needed to take a piss in a public restroom, so then they put their little women only. This is a real picture that I took. You can go to my Fibonacci. And when I talk about the new racism, I talk about how these days are happening again, but for the group is men. And not just that, but it's, you know, you can just now realize what's happening to white men. Now you can really start to understand what's happening, or what has happened to minority men. And it's happening. You know, I guess this is the white karma, white man's karma, because you know, I always knew racism existed. I grew up seeing these pictures that, you know, there was a time in this country with Jim Crow laws that really were a despicable time in our culture. And I've done my best to try, not just my personal life, but in my public life, to let my discourse and also my the way I actually live, to honor what I believe is a beautiful group of people, Africans Americans. And then I had my little custody battle in West Texas, which nobody cares about. Nobody cares about my case. Nobody cares about Jonathan Fibonacci's civil rights case, and how that was kind of the Roe v. Wade of gender war, of gender politics, and how my little case in Muleshoe, Texas, is speaking to a broader issue that's now becoming like this. Like, can you imagine if Hillary Clinton talked about the future is Jewish only, or maybe what if Trump said the future is male? But yet, look what's happening. And I just want to train your Fibonacci ear to hear this discourse. In fact, this just happened. Elizabeth Warren, she didn't get her way, so now she's saying she's discriminated against because she is a female. And of course, it's all over of, you know, how she's championing female rights. Like, well, maybe you just weren't procedurally compliant in the hearing, Miss Warren. Well, of course, in fact, I saw on Twitter where somebody instantly went to how she was abused. And we have to be very cautious and careful with, now we live in a narrative that when women don't get their way, it's because they are abused. Well, who's the abuser? It's men. And we have to be very, very careful about that narrative. There's other people that are kind of speaking to this, people that are more well-funded. It says this is a documentary that came out. It says marriage is an institution, divorce is a big business. This guy's out of San Diego. And he's just talking about the realities of what happens to men in civil cases. And it's sad that there's an entire class of people that's extorted. Their lives are decimated by civil cases, and nobody cares because we have this narrative perpetuated by people like this. Hillary Clinton. And again, if you want to really get into the Fibonacci chair, imagine if she would have said the future is Palestinian or the future is Jewish. You can't discriminate against a group of people. But yet, here I am, Fibonacci on the PCH, taking pictures of an entire class of people that are ignored. And I'm not sure exactly what my whole purpose in life is, and here's several things that I'm interested in. I need to add basketball to that. I am Jonathan Fibonacci. There's all kinds of things that I care about. But today I woke up and in my spirit I felt a pain of what's happening to this country and how that we have a modern day Holocaust in our court systems, and people don't want to really say that the emperor has no clothes. People do not want to go to the authorities, and they don't want to go to they don't want to believe that their governments are corrupt. And sometimes, you look at like countries like Russia, which not only are they corrupt, but it's almost just part of the policy. Everybody knows that Russia is corrupt, and it's almost like it works better. But in America, we have corruption, but we have the edifice that it's, oh say, can you see? And I'm like, no, Fibonacci sees a new Marxism, sees a new Holocaust. And my little civil case in West Texas was like, holy shit, we got to clean and heal our land. It's time for someone to talk about what happens to men. And men matter too. And healing our land is going to start with the church. And the Word of God has to become prime. See, and it's back to the future, and that's what we really don't want. We want our Jezebels. We want our Antichrist. We want our Mammon. I want to sing this song in the best way that I can. Heal our land, The 12-steppers say the first step is admitting the problem. Are we willing to admit what happens to men in civil cases, in criminal cases? Are we willing to use words like federally protected status? Are we willing to send women to jail for the same crimes that we send men to jail for? See, equality means equality. It's not privilege. So if anybody ever asks me about my photography, say, yeah, he's posting obscene pictures of federally protected statuses, openly violated. You guys be good.